The pace of change facing organizations today is unlike anything we've seen before. Businesses are expected to innovate faster than ever, but turning good ideas into working enterprise applications has never been easy. This is Neptune Talks, where we share short insights on SAP execution and innovation. Today, we're diving into the new Neptune DXP release and why it's another major step towards AI-driven enterprise development.
Exactly. The speed of enterprise development, or the lack of it, has been a bottleneck for years.
The traditional process was always slow. A business analyst would define a requirement, developers would translate it into specifications, projects would enter backlogs, and weeks or even months later, a first version might finally be ready.
And by then, the business need may already have changed.
That's exactly the challenge Neptune is trying to solve with this release. AI is changing that equation by helping organizations move from business idea to working applications significantly faster than before.
It really closes the gap between business intent and technical execution. You're no longer losing ideas through endless documentation, meetings, and handovers.
And it also lowers the cost of experimentation. Instead of committing months of development effort before seeing any results, organizations can prototype, iterate, and refine ideas much earlier in the process.
That's a huge shift. It encourages innovation because testing new ideas becomes far less risky.
Absolutely. But it's important to remember that this isn't about AI replacing developers.
Exactly. The future isn't just AI or just low code or just professional development. It's really about combining all three.
And that's exactly where Neptune DXP is evolving. Naia Build continues to become a much more capable AI development assistant, helping developers generate applications, debug code, and accelerate development while maintaining governance and transparency. One addition I particularly like is the support for multiple AI models, including Claude through Bring Your Own Key. It gives organizations much more flexibility to adopt AI on their own terms.
And I'd say that's becoming increasingly important because every organization is at a different stage of its AI journey.
Definitely. Developers still play a critical role, but AI removes much of the repetitive work so they can spend more time solving complex business problems.
I'd probably add that the business benefits just as much. Business experts can see ideas take shape much earlier, provide feedback sooner, and work much more closely with development teams throughout the process.
Exactly. It's less about replacing people and more about removing the traditional barriers between business and IT.
Another major announcement is Naia Agent Studio.
Yes, and that's where things start becoming really interesting. AI agents are moving well beyond simple chatbots. With enhanced reasoning, memory management, and conversation grouping, they're becoming capable of supporting real enterprise processes, rather than simply answering questions.
And then there's probably one of the biggest announcements in the release, MCP Designer for SAP Joule.
I think that's a really significant step. Organizations have spent decades building business logic inside SAP, but AI agents can't automatically understand or execute those processes. MCP Designer helps expose that existing SAP business logic as governed AI-ready services that can be securely used by SAP Joule and other AI-powered applications.
Which makes AI adoption much more practical, especially for organizations running ECC or S/4HANA that don't want to rebuild everything from scratch.
Exactly. And Neptune isn't just adding AI into its own platform either. The new Neptune MCP Server and Claude Code plugin allow developers to access Neptune directly from environments like Visual Studio Code, Cursor, and Claude Code. That means Neptune becomes part of the wider AI development ecosystem rather than existing as a standalone platform.
AI is clearly a major theme of the release, but it's not the whole story.
Not at all. Neptune has also continued modernizing the platform itself. The new Visual Launchpad Designer makes it much easier to build branded digital workspaces, while the Application Migration Wizard helps simplify the journey from SAP Edition to Open Edition with much lower risk.
One question people often ask is whether AI-generated code creates security risks.
That's probably the most important question to ask. AI shouldn't be treated as a black box that you simply trust. It's a development assistant. The platform still provides governance, authentication, and secure access to enterprise systems, while professional developers continue reviewing, optimizing, and securing the final solution.
So it's really human oversight combined with AI acceleration.
Exactly. AI handles much of the repetitive work, while experienced developers focus on architecture, governance, and the complex business logic that really matters.
There's obviously much more in this release than we've been able to cover today.
Absolutely. If you'd like to explore the June 26 release in more detail, including Naia Build, Agent Studio, and the latest platform enhancements, head over to neptune-software.com.
So if you had to leave listeners with one message, what would it be?
For me, it's this. The barrier between a business idea and a working enterprise application is shrinking dramatically. AI, low-code, and professional development are no longer competing approaches. They're becoming complementary parts of the same development process. In a world where change is constant, the organizations that can adapt fastest will have the competitive advantage. And software development is increasingly becoming the engine that makes that possible.
Thank you, and thanks to everyone for listening to this episode of Neptune Talks. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow the series for more short conversations on SAP, AI, and enterprise innovation. And if you'd like to learn more, visit neptunesoftware.com.